After a routine assignment goes off the rails and ends in tragedy, the paths of bodyguards Gao Feng and Long Xiaohu split. 2 years later, Gao Feng makes a living in underground fistfights, but he is forced back into action when he learns that his sister's life is in danger and that Xiaohu is being hunted by the police. It soon turns out that Xiaohu has been framed, and the former partners reunite to stop the real culprits. Angry Rescue is one of those films whose screenplay seems to exist more as a cloud of tags than as a finished text, bending passively to the realities of production. What matters here is not intrigue or character arcs, but action and a constant sense of motion on screen. The characters must always be running somewhere, overcoming something, and defeating someone, and where, what, and whom are secondary, almost irrelevant questions. Interestingly, the film was shot in the early 2000s and was originally slated for release in July 2022, but something went wrong and its premiere was postponed by a full 3 years. During that time, the original director Lee Junlin's name in the credits was replaced by 3 others, and actor and action choreographer Tiger Chen left the film industry altogether. If this movie was the last straw for him, that would explain a lot. It's clear that Angry Rescue was re-edited over those 3 years. We'll never know what it looked like originally, but the final result features an oddly varied gallery of remarkably pointless villains. From time to time, another nameless bruiser simply appears in the character's path, only to clash with one of them in a hand-to-hand fight. It even gets unintentionally funny. The villain played by actor and stuntman Marvin Bouvet, who answers the question, "Who are you?" with "I'm the one who's going to kill you," is credited under the name Peter Parker. And it's hard to read that as anything but a joke. By the way, if you watch the film in its original version with parts in English language, brace yourself for a lethal dose of cringe. Angry Rescue lays claim to having one of the most shamefully bad English dubs in film history. The story is set in Latin America, and the pale-faced villains and black extras aren't just atrociously dubbed. Sometimes the same character is voiced by different actors with different accents in adjacent lines. Add to that the mangled pronunciation, and you're instantly reminded of viral clips mocking how English is taught in so-called third world countries. On the other hand, and this is hardly a full excuse, Angry Rescue isn't a talkie drama but an action movie. Trying to analyze its narrative structure through the chaos of an obvious crisis, re-edit is pointless. It's enough to note that everything happening between the fights makes your eyes and ears bleed. The upside is that there are 3 our guys on screen, all of them gifted screen fighters. Wang Qing-Ting, who is also listed as the film's main director, may be less famous than his partners Tiger Chen and Miya Muqi, but in the fight scenes all 3 look equally confident and capable. There are plenty of fights, and while they look fairly low budget, this is the kind of economy best described as cheap but effective. Minimal visual and editing frills, abandoned buildings instead of elaborate sets, just raw skill and the professionalism of people who know exactly how to land a punch on camera. Still, it's extremely hard to take all this as a complete film. In terms of sheer incoherence, Angry Rescue isn't far removed from Bruce Lee's Game of Death. Though in that case, the filmmakers at least had a very good and very understandable reason for how it turned out.